Ooh, what is this? Hi guys, today's video is going to be a makeup haul, kind of. Trying out some new products, some new brushes, stuff that I bought in Japan and I haven't got around to try and get. I did a lot of research before I went, so I picked up the brushes and the products that I wanted to buy instead of going there and not having any knowledge. First of all, if you've never been to Japan, you definitely should try and make a visit because it's such a different world. It's so minimalistic and it's so efficient and it's just so clean. I felt so happy being there. Of course, the food was amazing, the people are so lovely and they're so cute. They've got incredible skin, by the way. They just got a different style of makeup, which is so interesting to me. But yeah, I just bought a few basic things. If you want to hear more about my trip and some of the products that I bought, then please keep watching. So the main shopping that I did while I was in Japan was definitely Hakuhodo, which I have been looking at these brushes for so many years and I didn't want to buy them online because it's hard to distinguish if you want the brush or if you like the feel of it or if you're going to use it. And I realized some of the ones that I had chosen to buy were so big for my face that it didn't even work with powder, so I'm glad I waited until I went to store to buy them. I'll share the ones that I chose with you a bit later. But the other side of the shopping was drugstore products. I picked up a few things that I thought I would use more often than not. So I got eyeliner, mascara, eyebrows, and I picked up something interesting which I'll show you in a second. I thought I would incorporate these in a mini tutorial and talk about them as I go along because then you can see how it works on my skin rather than me just talking about the product. I haven't actually opened any of these, so we're going to try them for the first time together. I picked up a range of brushes from Hakuhodo. I got some eye brushes and I got some face brushes as well. I didn't buy all of the brushes that I thought I would use. I just bought the ones which I would use on a regular basis because they are quite pricey, and this is just the basic Hakuhodo range. They have really beautiful brushes. They've got the collector's item brushes which are like orange handles and they're so pretty. They have those brushes in the basic range which are cheap. So in my mind, if I'm going to try them for the first time, I didn't want to go with a brush that was more expensive if I could buy it at a cheaper price. Maybe that's the Indian in me, I don't know, but I'm glad I picked some of these out. I've already done my base, so I've done foundation, which I use Makeup Forever HD in Y405, and then for the concealer I use Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NC42. I love this combination so much because it gives me a really nice flawless base without looking like too much makeup. For powder, I went in with the Hourglass Veil Translucent Powder. Where did I put it? I went with it under my eyes and I've been really loving using this one because it doesn't make my under eyes look dry and cakey, which is what some powders do. Then I went on top of that with Laura Mercier translucent powder just to bake a tiny bit. Generally not a huge fan of baking, but I thought today I'd just do it around the dips of my eyes because I have those indents. What are they called? I can't remember. They're like hollows almost, so I just wanted to bring that forward and I baked a tiny bit. So the first thing I'm going to use is this thing right here from Kate Tokyo. It's called Designing Eyebrow 3D and it looks like a little eyebrow palette. It's got a little brush and a little mirror, so that's very cute. There were two shades of this and I picked the ones with darker and cooler tones because my eyebrows are very cool, my hair is very dark. Oh, this is adorable. It's got three colors in there. It's got a light color, a medium color, and a darker color. Although it looks like they're a bit lighter than my eyebrows, I'm still gonna try it because, especially with powders, I tend to like lighter powders. They don't give such deepness to my eyebrows. I've already got really practically black eyebrows, so I want to keep it like light and fluffy. And when it comes to pencils, I don't mind going the natural color of my brows, but when it comes to powders, I want to brighten my eyebrows a tiny bit just so that it doesn't look so harsh and I can have a fuller eyebrow like that. The brush with it is super cute. It's got like a fluffy handle on one side and then it's got like a little angled brush on the other side. I tend not to like brushes that come with compacts like this because I find that they're too fluffy. So this side right here is really fluffy and this side right here is quite firm. So I'm going to try with that side. Got a little mirror in there so you can see exactly what you're doing. It's a nice size as well. You can see your entire eyebrow. I'm going to go with a dark tone first and just add some colour to the darker parts of my brows. Oh, it's covered it up really nicely. I'm going to zoom you guys in a bit. Yeah, nice and personal. Alright, here we go. It gives a really nice colour. Oh, look at that. This is like one of the best selling eyebrow products in Japan. One of my friends is Japanese and she gave me loads of ideas of what to buy, so I was so grateful to that, because whenever you go to these drugstores, you're gonna find all of these labels and things are all in Japanese and you have no idea what you're buying unless it's got like the tiniest bit of English writing in there. Or if you have Google Translate, it makes life much easier. This colour is so amazing. Look at that! Gives a really nice natural look to the brow. Obviously, I don't know how it's going to look if you do Instagram brows, but for every day on the go, not bad. I normally like to brush my eyebrows up and like have them really, really fluffy. Gives a really nice natural eyebrow. I tend to go in a tiny bit sharper on the bottom, just because I like that definition. You take the second shade right here and go in towards the front of the brow and just fill in that gap that's got some spaces there. I don't want to go in with the darker colour, it's going to be too aggressive. My only concern with this is that when it comes to having your pictures taken with powder products, the camera flash tends to go right through them, so it's nice to have some waxy or liquid products underneath. So if you've got a brow pomade or a pencil or something, that's gonna hold the shape in place, and then I normally go with powders on top. But for natural daytime looks, I don't think this is bad at all. I'm gonna try the fluffy side of the brush and go over the entire thing. Would you look at that? How cool is that? I'm gonna do the other eyebrow and I'll be right back. This little brow compact is so cute and so handy. It's definitely a win for me. You can actually probably use this as an eyeshadow as well. You can have this color going in your crease up here and this color along your lash line and this on your brow bone. You can definitely make this one work as an eyeshadow. I'm so excited about this. I've been planning the trip to Hakuhodo ever since I found out that we were going to go to Japan, because I've been dying to try the brushes. And I noticed they had a little section in a department store, but I also knew they had a bigger store, which was not so far out, maybe a 15-minute walk away. But I was like, no, I'm going to go to this damn brush store and I'm going to go and enjoy my life. Jay and I walked to the brush store and it wasn't a normal shop where you see it on the ground floor and you walk in and it's all just like, it's not like a Sephora basically. We walked past it, we were walking back and forth because it wasn't the ground floor. There was no entrance to this almost. So it was a door going into a room with a lift. I thought, this is so strange because there's no receptionist, there's nothing. But then thinking about Japan, everything is so efficient and minimalistic, so of course that would be the case. So Jay and I are on the lift and we get up to the third floor and the lift door opens and I walk out onto a floor full of makeup brushes. It was so incredible but so overwhelming at the same time, and had I not done my research, I would have been so overwhelmed with what to pick. So if you're gonna go there, the thing I can advise you to do is do your research before and decide what kind of brushes you want. There's a couple of different ranges and they're all of different prices. I'll get into that in a bit. It was insane. Jay and I looked at each other and we were like, oh my god. My oh my god was like, oh my god, I'm in heaven. And Jay's oh my god was like, what the hell have I just walked into? So he sat on the side and I took him on purpose because I wanted a time limit in this shop because I knew I could have bought the whole thing. Anyway, so it was so incredible because they had really pretty bamboo brushes and I'd seen all of these online and I just wanted to try them and see how I felt in person. Did I mention I had the whole store to myself? I had a few assistants help me pick up the ones that I wanted to try out and just see if it was the right brush for me, and I managed to come out with less than I thought I would buy, which is amazing for someone like me because I could buy everything. The range that I stuck within was the B range, and that's the basic range that there is in Hakuhodo. They have a J series, a G series, they've got one called the S series, which are, in my opinion, some of the most beautiful brushes I've ever seen, but I didn't buy those because these were the first time I was trying out Hakuhodo and I didn't want to just go and splurge on a signature brush range where some of them had the same brush in another series but for a cheaper price, just because the handle was different and it wasn't part of the signature range. For example, I think this one, the B110, I believe they have one in the signature range, but the price is double the price because of the handle, and it's just a collector's item. So if you're into collecting that kind of stuff, then that's great for you, but I just wanted to try out what these brushes would feel like and how they apply makeup. I'm going to try those out today with you guys. I'm very excited. This one doesn't have a name on it, but I've just been through the receipt receipt, and I think it's the G508. I'll double check when I finish the video and write it down in the description box if it is or what it is if I've got it wrong. These three are actually blush brushes, but if you can see that this one here is quite big for a blush brush for me, so I'll probably use it for like powder or bronzing and contouring. This one is a blush brush, which I could use as a blush brush. It would work really nicely, or I could use the narrow side of it as a really nice contour brush. And then these brushes were the ones that I was most excited about. This one and the other one is a highlighter brush. They're so flipping fluffy. They basically deposit the most minimal amount of product, but the right amount of product. So if you're heavy-handed, this kind of brush is so good for you. I love the way that it feels on the skin. I'm going to use this one for blush today. And then I picked up two for highlight. So I've got one right here, which is a normal fan brush, and you'd use it normally like a standard fan brush, and then this highlight one, which is kind of like the blush brush, and I think I'm going to use this one today. I have been quite obsessed with using fan brushes for blushes recently. The one that I use is from Smashbox, so I'll put my highlight on, then I'll dip in with the same fan brush and use it as a blush, and it just deposits the most nicest amount of blush. Not too much, not too little. So I'm going to go in and use some of those right now. I've basically done everything apart from bronzing. I'm going to go in with the Marc Jacobs Tantric bronzer. I'm going to go in with this one which doesn't have the label on it. Take a bit of that and just sweep it. These are probably the most softest brushes I've ever tried. It's tightly packed, but it's not so dense that there's no movement in there. I just feel like some other brushes, they're so densely packed that you can't get that flexibility out of it. This makes putting bronzer on so easy. It practically applies itself. I'm going to take the Pixi by Petra Natural Contour Powder, and I'm just going to use this one. The hairs are a bit shorter than the one I just previously used. It's the same shape, but if you can see, because it's shorter, there's less flexibility in it, so it's going to be more precise with the application for this one. It picks up product really nicely and lightly. I don't know if you can see here. Oh, gives a really nice cheekbone. I'm going to take this down a bit and just across the cheek, just to make that bit of the cheek lift up a tiny bit so it doesn't look like I'm doing a stark line. I think I might do a highlight and contour video soon, because I see so many people contour so heavily, like their highlights are too light and their contours are too dark, and they struggle to blend it out, and then they come up to me and they're like, hey Sam, how do I do this? And I always tell them, use less product, don't go so dark and light, and just try and match your skin tone a tiny bit. But maybe I'll do something. Wow, look at that. I flipping love these brushes, they're so nice. Contour my fab head. For blush, I'm just going to use this one from MAC. This is Gingerly. For the blush, I'm going to use the G6053. Yes! Can you see how nicely that deposits blush? For highlight, I'm going to go in with one of my favourites. It's the Amrezy highlight with Anastasia Beverly Hills. Oh my god. Amazing. On the other side, I'm going to use the fan brush, the F6240. Oh my god, how nice. I think this is my favourite for highlighting though, this fluffy one, which just really made it look effortless and glowy. And it doesn't look like it's sitting on top of the skin, it looks like it's actually coming from underneath. Oh, I'm so excited! Moving on to eyes, I picked up a range of flat shadow brushes and many blending brushes. I tried to pick the ones that I know that I already use in my collection and nothing too different, because I love those brushes that I use already. I just wanted to buy more of those in different styles. The one that I'm most excited about is this one. It's the J5523. This one is so similar to the old MAC 217s, which I love, and I bought a bunch of before they phased them out into the new fibers that they now use. This one I'm so excited to find, because I know that I love that shape and that style. For a simple eye look, I want to get the most out of a brush, so I tend to try and find ones which have blending capabilities but also are kind of flat. You can pack shadow on and then blend it out with the same brush. And then I got some bigger blending brushes just to blend out the edges, and then I picked up some detail brushes which I'll go through later. I'm really excited to try this range of brushes because I love these styles and these shapes so much. So I'm going to start off by using, of course, Soft Glam. I think I'm going to go in with burnt orange to begin with, which is this one. That picks up product really well. Do you see that? Make sure you tap off the excess because you don't want it going anywhere. I'm just going to apply this gently to the socket of the eye. I feel like this is a bit more dense than the 217. It doesn't move around so much. So I'll probably go in with something like the J5522 and just go in over the edges and blend that out, because you don't want any harsh lines. Even though it's a transition colour and you can't really tell, I don't really want to be going and creating any harsh lines. So just blend out the top bit and then go back in with some more. I love how precise this is. Gets right in the crease. Right now I feel like I prefer my MAC 217 more than this 5523, but we'll see as time goes on if the fibres just tend to disperse a tiny bit more or what happens to them. Then going in with the same brush, the 5523, I'm going to go in with rustic. Start on the outer corner by patting. And then blend that up into the crease. Can you see how you can just use one brush with this kind of shape to create an eye look? I'm going to go in and build up this rustic colour. I want to blend it across the entire lid, not just the outer, but I want to deposit the first amount of product onto the outer so it's the most intense there, and then just work my way in to the inner corner. So you get a really nice blend, and then back in with the 5522 and just blend those edges away into nothing. Then taking the colour Cypress Umber, which is this one, I'm going to go in with the, which just doesn't have a name either. Kind of looks like that popular Morphe brush that everyone bangs on about. I find that one a tiny bit too scratchy and I don't enjoy using it. So I thought I'd pick up one with a similar shape. I just want this to go into the outer corner and provide some detail. And then taking the 5523, I'm going to go in and blend that outer corner. I'm going to take that colour slightly onto the lash line a bit. I used to tend to go in with a pencil brush on my lower lash line because I found that it was so dense and it would hold the colour. But then I started using more fluffier brushes. Maybe in another video I might do my favourite brushes and I'll just show you how I use them. But I tend to go in with fluffier brushes under the eye because I find that it deposits the colour in the place you want it. But it also gives enough fluff room so that you can blend it out nicely. Can you see I've done minimal effort in this eye look and it already looks really good, if I may say so myself. I got this really tiny Hakuhodo brush, which is like a really small version of a pencil brush. And I'm going to go in with Noir, which is this black shade right here. And I'm just going to run that along the lash line, both upper and lower. It's just going to add a tiny bit of extra dimension. You don't want to cover the brown, you just want to go right up close to the lashes. Yes, I'm going to take this fluffier brush right here, the B142. I'm going to go in to the bronzer and I'm just going to go over the edge of the eyeshadow just so that it marries with the bronze around the face. I freaking love doing this. It makes the look more cohesive. I go upper and lower. Don't be afraid to go so low on your eyeshadow, man. I'm not going to use any of the golds in the palette, but I want to use the highlight shade on this J242 brush. And I want to apply that right to the center to give it a tiny bit of a pop. But I don't want it to be too much. I just want it to be a tiny bit of a bloop. And then maybe go and blend it in with my fingers just to make it less shiny. Like so. I didn't use the J146. I just felt like I wasn't doing that much detail work, which required a bigger detail brush. Maybe if I was doing more like defined cut creases and stuff, which I barely do these days, but I like to add a tiny bit of a bronze or a brown to my crease. And I'd like to use brushes like this, which are kind of tapered, kind of come to a point. Really nice. Next I want to go into eyeliners and stuff. So I picked up a couple of things from the Japanese drugstore. So I got mascara, liquid eyeliner, gel eyeliner. Oh, and then I forgot to use this. Anyway, let's just use it now. This was the one I was most excited to try out because I've never seen anything like it. This is the multi-contouring pencil from Hiiii. It's like a cool tone small pencil, and I'm going to use this to slightly contour my nose. You can't really tell because it's such a similar colour to my skin tone. Can you see it? It's really, really faint. But this is good to give some extra contour in the areas that you want the most. Can't really see it. You know where I want to use this as well is around the lips. I've been contouring my lips quite a lot recently. I just love the way that it looks. So if you see when I do this, the bit around the edges is like butthole lips, I know, but the bit around the edges of my mouth is where I want to be darker so that I can move the lip color over the top, and it kind of looks a bit more pouty without having lip injections. When I go to do my lips, it's going to look extra pouty, especially from the top, because I've given it that shadow behind the upper lip. I'm going to whip out these eyeliners first. This is the one from Kate. It is a Fit Rare Gel Pencil. Oh, you can take it up, but you can't take it down. It's one of those twisty ones. It's really, really fine. I don't know if you can see. Oh, it creates a really nice thin line. I'm just going to draw a line on top of my lash line. And maybe create a tiny wing. Creates a really nice fine line. Really easy to use as well. Cute! I like the way that turned out. I'm not going to use this tight line because it's quite a thin pencil, so I don't want it poking my eye. That's really cute. I love that. I'm going to take this one. This one is a black liquid liner. Let's see how this works. Ooh, what is this? It's like a Fenty product. This is called Moat Liner. Might be bashing that, but this one's got a liquid. Ooh, this is cute. Look at this. It creates really fine lines. I'm just going to go over the edge of what I've just done. Oh, it's nice. It's really fine. Yes, I like the way that this liner works. It's so cute. It looks just like a Fenty liner. I love the packaging. I love the way it looks on my eye. Loving this. Definitely using this again. And then I got this, which is a mascara. I should have actually got some use out of this before I use it on camera, because I like it when it goes slightly tacky, like after a week or so of using mascaras. I don't generally like them out of the packet, but this is super cute. It's the Lash Expander. Long, long, long. Mallorca? I don't know. It says fulfills all your wishes, and that's the only English it's got on there, aside from Mallorca. Anyone? Anyone? This looks like it has loads of fibres in it. Oh my god, it does have loads of fibres in it. It looks like one of those which you can extend your lashes. I'm going to give this a go, but I'm quite scared because my lashes are really long anyway. Oh my holy schmoly. This looks like it's going to be super long. I personally like my lashes to be a bit thicker rather than longer. This is giving me length, but it's not giving me any thickness. Damn it! Right now, I don't love it, but give me a couple of weeks. My favourite mascara at the moment, aside from this one, which is so good, I have been loving the Monsieur Big from Lancome. It is freaking phenomenal for when I want to go out and have false lashes without using false lashes. This definitely gives me that false lash effect. I don't know how it's going to work on top of another mascara though. That's okay. It's probably one of my pet peeves is when I put mascara on and I don't love it. Can you see how much better that looks with Monsieur Big? I'm just going to quickly do my lips and then I will be right back. Well, that is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was kind of different than what I normally do. Let me know what your thoughts are on some of these products if you use them. If you have any questions, comments or concerns, let me know in the comment section down below. If you haven't subscribed already, please click the subscribe button and the notification bell next to it, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye! Can't fucking open it. What the fuck is it? Oh fuck. MAC. I'm so excited about this. Oh! And then for blush, I'm just going to use this. I generally just bought like I only can. Oh fuck! I can't open this. Oh my god, my shoulders are too much. Bring it forward. Right, okay.